northbound 70. So again, we're going to go through these again. I know it's a lot. Southbound 70 at 149, southbound 149 at 99, and northbound 99 at Marysville. Those are all closed, and right now crews are working on opening both sides of northbound 70.
And I want to mention that if you either know or are in contact with people who are evacuating right now, just ask that, they be patient. There are going to be major delays. We're talking about within a small area, 130,000 people that have already been evacuated. So obviously there are going to be traffic issues. I want to get you right back to the dam itself. Ben Deasy's live for us there. Ben, what can you tell us about what you're seeing now?
Okay, we don't have Ben right now. Let's get to an update from CHP headquarters, because we're being told that CHP has deployed additional staff to work with emergency personnel in the Oroville Dam area. That's Butte, Yuba, and Sutter County. So that update coming from CHP headquarters. But we've been talking about the traffic mess as people are trying to get out of the area, listen to these evacuation orders. We were talking to one of our coworkers, Lindsay, who said that she got out pretty quickly, but once she did, she noticed that there were a long line of cars behind her. Yep,
and especially, we just saw not too long ago Doug Johnson in Yuba City talking to a number of drivers. Obviously, it's frustrating.
Right.
You have to evacuate your home. You're in traffic for, he said, 3 hours. People were stuck there. So, just be patient. Expect those delays. It's going to happen. We do have Ben Deasy now, who is live for us at the dam right now in Oroville. Ben, what are you seeing? What's the latest?
Yeah, Joe, Nikki, it may be a little hard to discern on your screen right now, but what you are looking at live is a helicopter hovering over the area of concern, hovering over both the spillway and the emergency spillway, both of which has sustained massive structural damage in this crisis. It is shining a very powerful spotlight on those two spillways, looking for the damage, trying to appraise the situation. We don't know if that's one of the helicopters that might be used in this airlift plan that has been floated by the Department of Water Resources. I do know, however, that a number of helicopters have been circling the area as they have been filling these massive bags of boulders. Again, the idea being that they may hook one of those bags to the bottom of a helicopter. That helicopter would take that material, those massive rocks, to the breach in the spillway, the area to the west of the dam, and try to fill in some of that breach. So far, none of the bags have been lifted up, but they have been furiously filling these bags over the past hour or so, and there are dozens upon dozens now on standby. And as you look at this, the image is different from the last time I broadcast to you live here from the top of the dam. You can see that all of the vehicles, the emergency vehicles, the trucks, and much of the heavy construction equipment, except for those engaged in filling the bags right now, have been cleared. It looks to us like they may be making room for one of those helicopters to come into this area, hook onto one of those bags, and indeed execute the plan, bring that bag to where it is needed in the breach. Now, we have unconfirmed reports from Mather that Black Hawk helicopters from the National Guard have been scrambled and deployed to this scene. We don't, again, know if that's the case, but we do have unconfirmed reports that that has happened. We also have unconfirmed reports that CAL FIRE Hueys have been put on standby to also assist if needed in this operation. But this operation, on the ground at least, is full steam ahead as we speak, as those bags get filled, bag after bag. And just look at the size of the boulders we are talking about here. Just amazing to conceptualize those being lifted by air, brought over to the dam, and deposited in the places where erosion, as that water floods down those spillway and the emergency spillway and erodes the hillside, causing some structural concerns at the Oroville Dam and the spillway releases. Just amazing to conceptualize those boulders being plucked from the ground, brought to that area, and placed in the flow of water to try to shore these structurally compromised spillways up.
Yeah, Ben, this is a really complicated effort here. I know you were out there as soon as the story broke. We sent you out that way, so you've been there for quite some time. Can you give us a sense of just how long and how much of an effort it was to get all of this done and even started, and then to get the helicopter up in the air?
Well, this was underway when we first arrived few hours ago now, and the activity has only picked up. In fact, you can see over here another caravan of these boulder trucks bringing in more material, and this has been the case. Truck after truck comes in, dumps the boulders onto the pad here, the parking lot above the Oroville Dam, and then heads off to get another load. Just a massive amount of material being brought in, and air activity has definitely picked up. We're seeing and hearing helicopters all over the area. Right now, they appear to be looking at the areas of interest, those spillways that are damaged. They're hovering over those spillways right now, have not yet headed this way, but we expect that should happen really any time now that they have cleared this parking lot, created a room for those helicopters to hook into the bags that they're filling.
All right, Ben, thank you very much for that. I want to send it over now to Mark Dembski, who's got another update for us in the newsroom. Mark, what are you learning?
Yeah, good evening, Joe and Nikki. As you can imagine, a lot of local agencies are being sent to the Oroville area. Nikki, I know you had mentioned that Sacramento Fire had tweeted out they were sending personnel that way just about 15 minutes ago. We got confirmation that the Sacramento County Sheriff's Department has confirmed they are sending almost 70 deputies to assist in the Oroville area and assist, of course, with that situation. They also say that there is going to be no impact to their patrol area down our way right now. I do want to also mention that the Rolling Hills Casino RV Park is the latest place that you can go for evacuees, and this place in particular because they will accept large animals. So they have several spaces left. That, according to Butte County, again, the Rolling Hills Casino RV Park, accepting large animals, several spaces left at this time. And another shelter situation opening up at the Nevada County Fairgrounds. I mentioned that it was on, I had the wrong road the last time. It's actually at 11228 McCourtney Road, 11228 McCourtney Road. That is in Grass Valley. That is the latest in Nevada County as far as the fairgrounds is concerned. That is a brand new evacuation center. And again, Joe and Nikki, the information that we got a little bit ago, that the Yuba County Jail in Marysville is being evacuated at this time. That goes with information we had earlier that the Butte County Jail, inmates, of course, being moved to other local jails in the area. That's the latest from the newsroom. Mark Dembski, we'll send it back to you guys.
All right, Mark, thanks so much. And I think you touched on this, but I just want to reiterate that Rolling Hills Equestrian Center, they have 300 stalls available for people looking to house their livestock for horses. They said to give them a call. Their number, 916-826-1074. Once again, if you have horses that you need to find shelter for, the Rolling Hills Equestrian Center has 300 stalls available right now.
All right, important to note because not all of the shelters, at least that we've heard, have accommodated for animals. So, yeah, important to take note of. All right, we're going to send it out right now to Eric Rucker, who's live for us in Marysville. Eric, I know you've been tracking down some people who were mid-evacuation as well. What are you seeing now?
No, to be honest, we've been stuck in traffic in downtown Marysville like thousands of other people for the last hour or so. Let me try to do my best traffic in downtown Marysville. What you're looking at right there is the line that is trying to presumably get on to 20 or go south of Marysville. That is southbound 70. All the people that we were following for the last hour are the ones basically for miles and miles and miles, bumper to bumper, as they head on eastbound 20. So these are people who are heading in the general direction of Grass Valley. We've already heard a lot of hotels, probably all of them, filled for the evening there. The situation, although it looks really bad right now, has gotten significantly better in the last hour or so. The major reason for that, at least, is because we think on the majority of the people have finally finished up and or moving out. So this was probably more or less the last wave. You can still see some emergency responders and some law enforcement down on the corner there. That's B Street to locals, but Highway 20 and 70 as you head north or south on it. So the issues that we saw right here at the moment have quelled. But what the big issue is going to be, and as we just showed you, coming southbound on 70, and then everybody that was using 20 to head east, up into the foothills, up into the Grass Valley area, those are the ones that are going to be concerned. All right, so that's what we have right here. A little bit earlier on, madness in Olivehurst at a Shell gas station. When we were there were cars that were coming in off of the road. by the hundreds full. And at some point, there was a lady who said that they ran out of gas. We cannot confirm that to be the issue because we saw people afterwards getting gas. But the gas station itself closed down because of flooding. We've heard that story over and over. People are trying to get the necessities that they need. However, they are unable to because places are shutting down. So a mad dash for there. We talked to a woman. She said she did this when she was a 6-year-old back in 1997, and now she has kids in her car. And she, like many, is just very scared.
Twitter right now?
Eric, thank you very much for that. We're going to send it right over to Dennis Shanahan. Dennis, kind of take us through, where we are right now in terms of what we're seeing both on the roads and with the dam itself.
Yeah, Joe, that dam and its surrounding structures, including that spillway, were built in 1968. So we're talking about a 48-year-old structure here that has just been hammered with a massive amount of water as that lake is full. So we'll take you to the web computer and show you what we're talking about and where the concern is. Again, just a quick recap that the concern is not the dam itself. The concern earlier this week was the spillway, which you see in the center of your screen, and they have been releasing a massive amount of water down that spillway to keep the reservoir from overflowing, but even that wasn't enough. The reservoir did start to overflow, and where it overflows is this concrete structure you see to the left of that spillway. This concrete structure where you see the hand moving back and forth, that is the auxiliary spillway, which has never been used. That is key. This has never been used before. So this lake crested that level, spilled over that spillway and down into this muddy wildland into the Feather River. And so because this had never really been tested before, they didn't know until they did it really what the full effects were going to be. And here's the effect. The erosion that caused all of this concern has been advancing rapidly. And so that is why they said that the operation of the emergency spillway led to the severe erosion that could lead to the failure of that structure. But good news we've been hearing, they did increase the releases down this damaged spillway, the one that they can control, and that has brought the lake level down to a level that it is not spilling over this auxiliary spillway as rapidly as it was before. It is beginning to recede. So you take that pressure off of it, and you get the workers in there with those bags of rock that they're dropping, and then they can hopefully secure this damaged, compromised structure that did... they found enough damage to warrant the evacuation orders. So there is some hope, but they're not rescinding those evacuation orders at all, Joe. All right, Dennis, thank you. Right now on the phone, we have Michelle Mazerel. She's from Marysville. She is evacuated. She has evacuated already. Michelle, are you with us?
I am.
Hi, Michelle. Can you take us through what it was like for you as all of this started to unfold?
So I received notification through an emergency broadcast system at about 4:30, and by 4:45, I had a couple of friends calling me from the Dobbins area who had been listening to some talk radio, and they also had informed me that they were evacuating down to Gridley. So we probably were able to get out of Marysville a little earlier than most. We started heading out of town by about 5:15. But by then, of course, the news had already picked it up, and it had become pretty chaotic in town. Lots of people stopping to fill up their cars, running into the little mini-mart, lots and lots of traffic, and emergency personnel heading back towards Oroville. So we moved to Sacramento. That was the direction we chose.
Okay. Michelle, you touched on it, but I'm wondering if you